and welcome back to a Three and Out podcast episode. I'm here with Tyson and Jack. How are we doing today, guys?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What about you, Jack?
I'm doing quite all right today.
Yeah, we got one of the craziest free agencies to break down today. So starting off, we got Aaron Rodgers announced that he's going to be staying in Green Bay this year.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers, throughout all the drama of 2 years, basically, a buildup of 2 years, stays in Green Bay. He's going to be throwing to no one next year.
Yeah, with Devontae Adams going to
Yeah.
the Raiders, he's got 0 receivers on his team now.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of like 13-10 wins for the.
I was kind of hoping.
Their
I was kinda
defense low-key got crazy, but like.
Yeah, their defense is
negative
pretty
on
good.
offense.
But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of hoping the 49ers might snag Aaron, but I'm happy we stay with Trey Lance. But I don't know. I feel like Aaron Rodgers might get to redeem it. The 49ers get to redeem themselves with taking Aaron Rodgers for once, and then they could have in the draft.
Yeah.
Think they're gonna take him, or you thought they were?
Well, no, I'm saying like they get to redeem themselves for not taking him in the draft all those years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But now he's like stuck with 0 receivers. I don't. You think he knew Devontae Adams was leaving whenever he?
No way, no shot.
I
I
don't
don't think he did.
No. Yeah.
I think Devontae was set on leaving and set on getting traded, and he just kept it under wraps. And he probably didn't intend to, but I don't think.
You think A-Rod stays if he knows Devontae's leaving? Probably not.
I feel like honestly, there's a chance because he might think they might be able to sign some other receivers. Like a lot of other receivers are dealt this offseason. But I think it's kind of slim.
Ooh.
And I think people overplay his like stubbornness. Like he's not like gonna pass up on what's he making, like $40 million a year?
Yeah,
like
record
for
money.
4 more years.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I don't want to rebuild. Like he's not gonna prefer it, but if like you can milk.
I got a
like
little take. What about OBJ to the Packers?
That is a very real possibility. If you remember when OBJ was cut from the Browns, the two teams, well, actually the Patriots in the mix, the two main teams are the Rams and the Packers, but people really only saw the Packers as a suitor. People were preparing. Aaron Rodgers was openly recruiting. I wouldn't be surprised, but it will be kind of interesting because OBJ would be kind of like pushed back into a wide receiver 1 role like he was in Cleveland. And again, he still is a very talented and good player. And I'm a big OBJ supporter, but I don't know if he can function as a high efficiency wide receiver 1.
really?
I don't know. I feel like it's been a while since he's thrived in that role. I feel like he's best as a wide receiver 2. Like a Cooper Kupp is a great.
He fit really well in that Rams offense. It worked out really well.
It was perfect. I mean, I think that's where he fits best with a really like ball dominant slot wide receiver as a wide receiver 1.
Well, okay, I want to disagree with you, but there is also he did just get hurt again.
Yeah, that too.
I kind of see him as like that kind of
coming back to full form one more time. Like he's had so many lower leg injuries and stuff like that, and
yeah, I can kind of see it. He's got like a ton of talent, but he also is like, I don't know. I kind of see him as like that, like Adam Thielen to Justin Jefferson type of receiver.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I get what you mean. Yeah, it's like you throw him on another team without a ball dominant wide receiver 1 like that. I don't know if he can, especially in injuries, and have a big concern. Like you don't know if he can keep up with that high level volume, always getting targeted the ball, especially from a pretty pass heavy offense like the Packers.
I mean,
I don't know if he can survive.
I don't know if he doesn't necessarily needs to be like a number 2 receiver. He just needs something to distract them from him. Like if he had on a team with a good run game or like a good tight end, he would be fine. But the Packers really don't have.
I guess like Aaron Jones is.
They got Aaron Jones, but even then, that's a little. He's not the best option.
They don't love to run the ball.
Robert Tonyan's not a terrible tight end either.
Oh, that is true.
That is true, but he is coming off an ACL tear.
A weapon.
Oh yeah.
I don't know,
That's
like a vertical threat.
I mean, they even lost Marcus Scanley
Coach.
to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
because he really is kind of like a Deebo Samuel type like just like get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really.
I don't know if his route
Walmart version
sharp anymore, but like he still can make plays.
Yep. All right, well, moving on. Russell Wilson to the Broncos. Tyson, how are we feeling about that?
I've been waiting to talk about this one. I wanted to start with it. Russell Wilson to the Broncos. This was so. Let me take you through that morning. I forgot what the exact day, but I started out waking up to Aaron Rodgers announcing he's staying in Green Bay, and I'm not talking about like it's leaked that he's like staying in Green Bay like normal. He tweets out, "I'm staying in Green Bay," basically. And as a Broncos fan, I'm like, we're screwed. Like we're done.
Yeah.
You know, we have all the pieces right now. Right now is the time to get a guy like Aaron Rodgers. And we screwed up. We messed up. We couldn't get it. And then 2 hours later, I checked my phone, Russell Wilson, the Broncos. And that was like one of the happiest moments I've had as a Broncos fan. First time I've been satisfied as a Broncos fan since like 6 years ago. Yeah, it was a big trade. We gave up Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris, and then a plethora of draft picks. The main thing about this trade that I'm a little scared of is losing Shelby Jones, because he really was like a really big, important defensive anchor on that team. The main portion of his importance was leadership, but I still think there's a lot of leaders on that squad. I think we just signed Kareem Jackson recently. And then we signed DT Jones from the 49ers.
Yeah.
So I think it was a great move. I'm happy we got him. And I'm actually excited because the Broncos, it's really weird because they could easily be like number 1 seed running gun like Peyton Manning type dominance again, or they could be like a 6 seed, you know, just like an average team like the Colts like from a couple of years ago or something like that.
Yeah, they really got a great defense like of scheme. They got Randy Gregory now and
oh yeah, that too. I completely forgot
and
about that.
Randy Gregory when like healthy and like do it like he's like an unblockable guy. Like
Yeah,
he
you
looked
can't block him
amazing on the
one-on-one.
Cowboys.
It's impossible.
And people talk about he is 29, so but we did only sign him for 2 years guaranteed, but he's only played about 4 seasons of football. He doesn't have that same wear and tear that a 29-year-old defensive doesn't have that any wear and tear that a 29-year-old defensive end should have, you know. So
the way he plays too, like, is pretty like he's got a lot of finesse in his game, but like he's not an ultra fast player. So like I feel like his game will last. Like he just got
I can see that.
Yeah, it's one of those games you're willing to take a risk on.
And the Broncos defense already was like their solid point. So it'll be cool to see how their defense can evolve and like how Russell Wilson can bring some offensive light to this team.
Yeah,
and top 5 last year
in the secondary.
Yeah.
Top 5 last year, and they improved on defense and they added Russell Wilson. And the main piece they gave up was like Noah Fant on offense, who we didn't really use. And Alberto's a good backup. Yeah. I mean, this
y'all have though. Sorry, Blake, you go.
No, you're good. You're good.
Who do y'all have in receiver? Like I really like
Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Tim Patrick.
I forgot about
it. Pretty good.
They're pretty solid. They're all like around the same skill level. But it'll be cool. I mean, I'm excited to see mainly how Jerry Jeudy does with an actual quarterback throwing the ball to him, not like Teddy Bridgewater. But
yeah, they don't have like an explosive like wide receiver 1, but they're all pretty like solid wide receiver 2 type players.
Especially with their run. What's his name? I always forget.
Javonte Williams.
Dude, that guy is like a little bull.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. That's gonna be really exciting next year, especially with Russell Wilson next to him. But I feel like the main X factor going into the season will be if Russell Wilson can elevate Jerry Jeudy's game. Because I'm not worried about Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick. They play their roles pretty good. But if he can elevate Jerry Jeudy's game, this offense really does move into that surefire number 1, like top 6 offense in the league. And you combine that with a top 5 defense, that's a real legitimate Super Bowl contender.
Team. Yeah, they could easily win that division over the Chiefs, I'm being honest.
I think the Chargers are the main focus. That's where we can dive into next, I guess. It's a good transition.
If Jeudy becomes like an elite slot player, that's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really can. So did you say you want to get into the Chargers with Khalil Mack going to the Chargers?
And J.C. Jackson.
Huge defensive plays.
That is going to be crazy.
It's honestly just scary. Because they got Derwin James, maybe the best safety in the league, and then the Bosa brothers and Khalil Mack. But he is kind of just a little bit less of not too much of a pass threat, even though he gets ton of pressures, but just for sacks. But best run defender in the league, probably.
Yeah, he's amazing on the run. He does get picked out a little in the pass, but I think he'll be all right. For that Chargers scheme, he'll be good.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like people don't talk about Khalil Mack anymore. Like his hype's kind of like died down a lot, but like just his like efficiency is like insane, and the amount of like dominance that he still has, like he's just like a crazy force to be reckoned with. And like every single offense kind of has to like plan around him and not leave him in one-on-one situations.
Yeah. And with Bosa, he's gonna get one-on-one, or at least one of them is gonna get one-on-one.
Yeah, he'll have no like any quarterback going against the Chargers will have no time to throw, and when they are able to throw, they're throwing against Derwin James and J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel. That's a crazy defense.
Yeah. I think they just left the Cowboys. Because literally, like Khalil Mack is like a better DeMarcus Lawrence, and then they have a counterpiece, and then now they have a secondary too. So like,
it is gonna be crazy. They could dominate. They have a higher ceiling than the Broncos do, and it's not even close. They do have a lower floor though, in my opinion, just because of the coaching. I think the coaching has a lot of error. I think Brandon Staley's not that great of a coach. He's pretty early in his career. And, they're still a really young team in terms of like quarterbacks and, offensive core.
I really don't like their weapons, to be honest. Like, I know Mike Williams is good, and I know Keenan Allen is good, but they're both so slow. Like, and their next best receiver is Jalen Guyton.
They kind of need like a
Allen Legend.
Shout out
Allen Legend, yes sir. We need him at the Cardinals.
I will say I think that Chargers offense is a little overrated, but they still did go 9-8 last year, dealing with kind of a slump at the beginning on the offensive side of the ball. And Brandon Staley, again, one of his like first few years coaching, and I think, but the defense will really help them out a lot. That was kind of a struggle for theirs midseason and when they were trying to make a playoff push. So adding Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson would be huge for them.
You got to feel bad for Justin Herbert with a guy that has a cannon like that, and his two receivers are like not deep threats. Like imagine him with just like a Marquise Brown or a Tyreek Hill or just
Stephon Diggs, someone like that. They could just go run over the top.
Because like
it would be crazy.
Yeah, he's obviously got he's got good weapons, just like they don't perfectly fit him. Like those are better receivers for a guy like Tom Brady, I feel like.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely. Yeah. Speaking of Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Could not stay away. Announced retirement and within the same year unretires without even waiting a year.
Month, basically. Same like 2 months.
I feel bad for him. Like, not gonna lie, like that's kind of shows you like Tom's not too happy with the life he's made. He's like, shoot. I still need football. I'm not ready for this. My kids are annoying.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like.
I might feel bad for him. Like it seems like
I don't think I feel bad for him.
His wife, I don't feel bad for her. I don't even know why he retired. To be honest, I don't even tired.
It's weird to me that this 44-year-old man like who's won every single thing he can in the game. I guess he just really loves it. Like
he's also still like able to play at a high, like such a high level. Like I feel like he's like, why would I quit now? Yeah. I mean, I know it's gonna like probably affect him like long term. Like his body is definitely gonna not gonna like last him as long.
Whatever. Super Bowls are more important, baby.
Live your life, man.
You'll die in 2 years, but you'll die a goat. So
I mean, but the thing is like if he's still playing at such a high level, like why would he stop? Is what I think he sits on the sideline. He's like, I don't want to.
45, like he's got to live his life. He's got to raise his kids.
It feels like to me he just retired because he like thought about it more and he's like, oh, I'm 46, maybe I shouldn't do this forever. And then he thought about it for like a month and he's like, oh, I'm the greatest football player ever. I want to keep playing. I can still play.
Yeah. That really is a gift to just get to go out and play a game for millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And then
everyone love you. Like, I guess I get that.
Think about it. Yeah, like he plays one more season, like that's $30 million more for his kids. Like
yeah, exactly. And his kids and their kids.
Like $500 million on her own.
Yeah, his wife's probably richer.
It's still like that's like
modeling company.
That's another generation of wealth each season he plays. Like
no, it really is.
Yeah.
It's just you can't judge them for making either decision at all because it's like
some Brady kid in 2400 just got a new Xbox because Brady unretired and a new car. So I mean that's huge. But yeah, Todd Bowles, also Bruce Arians retiring as a coach of the Buccaneers. Todd Bowles becoming the new coach was actually, I think, is a better shift. I think Bruce Arians is worse at coaching, or worse of a coach, not worse at coaching, but worse of a coach than Todd Bowles, especially for the Buccaneers. I really like Todd Bowles. I was hoping he would be hired by the Broncos actually, if possible. But yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah, I still can't believe thinking about coaching. I still can't believe the Dolphins coach got fired. I still can't. Ooh.
That was interesting. Brian Flores. We never really covered that, and it's so weird because you take the Dolphins team. The Dolphins keep in mind the Dolphins
with Tua.
you lead them from 1-7 to almost making the playoff, like game out of the playoffs. So many crazy upset wins that were purely coaching in my mind because that team has no, like, can you name there's 3 stars on the Dolphins? No,
there's not, like, and they don't have like an amazing quarterback to like lead them. Like they don't have the Patrick Mahomes to take them out. Like
they have no firepower. They have nothing. They have Tua, Gaskin, and Waddle, and
not
Waddle's
a very good line, like very middle line.
And their defense is
Waddle led the league in receptions, which is like not a great sign, but like also being able to get one guy that like a rookie that the ball that many times is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it's just like they didn't have much, and they almost made the playoffs, and now that same coach gets fired, and then now he's like the assistant of player coaching person, like some crazy down the line position in the Steelers, which I'm happy at least he has a job, but it's mind-blowing. I thought the Broncos should have hired him in the first place. I don't know.
I think he might be getting set up for a head coaching job at the Steelers, though.
He should. He deserves it.
Yeah, Tomlin might retire soon. So
guy that reached out to him apparently.
Yeah, I hope it works out like that. That'd be really nice to see because I think he does deserve another chance. I think.
And wasn't he paid to lose games?
Yeah, that's what
they tried. He didn't take the deal.
He didn't take the deal, but he was. The coach and the owner is known to be corrupt. The Dolphins owner.
Yeah,
so it's no surprise. I mean, he probably did actually pay him to lose games or tried to.
Yeah, which is like they wanted to tank. It's like whenever like tank for Tua stuff was happening and.
Yeah, tank for like the bottom 2 quarterback in the league. How that worked out. You could have made the playoffs, but yeah.
Wait, I thought the narrative was that he didn't like Tua, but now I'm starting to think that it was probably the owner didn't like Tua, wanted a new quarterback.
It's a little bit of both. Everyone hates Tua, but the Brian Flores was not an approve of Tua. Apparently, I think the narrative was that he like took his anger out of him on after that. I think it was the Jaguars game where they lost. I mean, I was watching that game at like 9 a.m. Worst quarterback performance I saw all year.
Was that a London game?
Yeah, it was a London game. Right? I was about to say it was a London game. It was so bad.
There's never been a good London game in the history.
It's because it's always the Dolphins and the Jaguars. Or like
Dolphins and Jaguars.
I think they're sending out like the Buccaneers this year, which is good. But I mean,
fun. Still, they need to like. It's cool and all, like, but like, no, I don't think the NFL players don't like it either, do they? Don't they all hate it?
Yeah, no. I mean, no one likes it. It's like,
I feel like it would be dope.
You gotta switch up your whole like. It's cool for a team like the Jaguars and the Dolphins, but it's not cool. Like you don't want to be like the.
You know who they need to stand there? The Chargers. They don't have any fans, bro. Get them a floor.
You say it'd be like dope, Jack, but like you have to realize like these people can go to like London whenever they want. Like it's not like they're having to go to London. Like they're all millionaires. They can all go like whenever they want. It's not like
they're forced, and then the next week they got to play a different. Like they got to play a game. So it's like you're switching your body clock up so much. That I don't think it's worth it. I don't even know why.
Yeah, I guess, but like they might get. I feel like they might get a bonus or something for it. There's always
that is true. Maybe the teams get paid for it, and they. But no in the NFL.
If there's not, then yeah, you're right. It's just.
I mean, I do like them promoting like football in like different countries and stuff, but like.
But to be honest, who in London right now, or who in London when they come is like, oh my God, the Jaguars and Dolphins are here. I love football now. I'm gonna watch the NFL. Like, no, you're watching. Tua, throw the ball.
That'd be fun to go see an American football game. Then,
it would, but then you have Tua throwing the ball, so now it's not so fun.
Like, wow, that'd be so interesting. And they're like, wow, this is American football.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh,
every year to 100,000 people.
Yeah, like, I'm going back to soccer. This sucks.
I guess thinking about it though, like if all like the cool premier teams like came into town or something like that, like it'd be cool to go see.
That would be cool. But they should send an actual cool team there and not the Dolphins.
Not the Dolphins.
That's my main point. Like I just want them to not send the Dolphins.
Real Madrid and Manchester United came here.
I think the Buccaneers is a perfect team because that's like if Messi came here, that's like, one of the goats.
Everyone's like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady and who else is it? Like, dude, Rams versus Bucks. Boom.
I think it's Falcons versus Bucks is supposed to be one of the games. I'm pretty. I don't know. I could look it up real quick, but yeah, it's
like no one in UK is gonna be like Kyle Pitts, developing young star.
Yeah, it's
good, but like, no one's gonna know.
Bucks are playing in like Spain.
To do Cowboys versus.
They're playing in Spain.
The Packers are going to the Packers, Bucks. Oh no, Packers, Jaguars, and Saints are going to London. Mexico has the Cardinals, and then is that Spain? I can't.
For the Cardinals, that would be cool. That's just a
Mexico. Oh, they're really expanding it, aren't they?
Mexico. I think they had a game in Mexico, like the Raiders.
Oh, really? They did.
Yeah. I can't tell where the Buccaneers are playing, but they're playing in some European country. I don't know who they're playing yet, but yeah, Packers are going, so that'd be kind of cool. But all right, we got distracted. We gotta get back to the free agency and stop talking about London. But
yeah,
speaking of, so the AFC West. So we went from the Chargers. Let's cover the last two, or actually, let's stay on the Dolphins topic because Tyreek Hill was traded to the Dolphins. That was a huge unexpected move.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, he obviously probably isn't happy that Tua is going to be his quarterback, but their offensive weapons have definitely improved, and they got crazy receivers now.
They got just crazy speed because they got Raheem Mostert, who's like, I think doesn't he have the fastest recorded time in the NFL?
Maybe
something like that. Yeah,
he did it for like one season, but like. And then they got Chase Edmonds too, and then they already got Waddle and Tyreek.
Yeah. Raheem Mostert will be exciting to watch for the first like one game before he like inevitably gets hurt. But
and they said they're gonna design their system after San Francisco and have Tyreek play like running back, which
because Mike McDaniels is he's a new coach.
I saw it personally when Tyreek Hill was at OSU before he got kicked off the team for like punching his girlfriend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but he was a wild running back. Like he also beat OU like had a final second touchdown on a punt return to win the game. So kid's always been insane. Didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I think the Dolphins got rid of a receiver, Mac Hollins too.
Oh, and Devontae Parker is gone.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They had to clear up cap room because Tyreek Hill demanded the entire world.
Yeah. Loki he's got like a running back build already.
They got
he's short.
They got Teron Armstead, so at least they're building on their own.
Yeah, they have a good team. That was a good free agency for them. Amazing free agency. I think the biggest move of this free agency other than Tyreek Hill was I think Mike McDaniels signed as their coach. But, like this best. That's a great coach signing right there.
Very good coach.
That's a good coach. Like I know he's unorthodox. He's like some like Stanford economics dude, but still he's amazing. He's creative. That's a really creative coach right there. I think that's a great signing by them. It's so weird about the Tyreek Hill thing. I want to talk about that real quick. The Tyreek Hill thing, because it went from like you woke up and it's like, oh, Tyreek Hill, it's like Tyreek Hill mad, they won't extend him, and then it's like an hour later, Tyreek Hill might leave, and then it's like 30 minutes later, Tyreek Hill going to the Jets or the Dolphins.
Oh yeah. I remember.
And then I'm like, no way. An hour later, it's traded to the Dolphins. Like what? I mean, that was like the fastest I think I've ever like seen a trade develop for like.
I never even heard of him like leaving until like I just saw he got traded. Like I didn't even know there was rumors of him being unhappy or anything. Like just gone.
It all was in the same morning. It just happened. It's like 3 hours. He went from unhappy to on Miami.
It's crazy to think that the Chiefs like I feel like he was such like a vital part of their offense.
Yeah, I don't crazy. Even with the money, if I'm Tyreek Hill,
thrown down with the Chiefs or something like he had.
It's just the money. I think it's just the money. It's like if I'm Tyreek Hill, I don't know why I'm leaving like the greatest quarterback in the world right now to play for Tua, other than money.
Yeah, he's probably gonna regress like on this team.
Oh, he's gonna like. There's a chance he might get like never seen before career low numbers.
Yeah, and then his paycheck's gonna regress after that. Like I don't get the
plan. He did get a lot of guaranteed money though. That is the thing, and he is kind of aging a little bit. And
with fast people, like they're
yeah,
especially how much he gets hurt, like in his lower legs and stuff, which is always a problem for people.
Yeah.
And the
Guess
star
he's-
value, he knows his star value. Even if he does get like hurt, regresses, he'll still have a lot of demand.
Yeah, sorry.
He'll be good. I was just saying he'll be good. You can go ahead.
Yeah. I still really think though that the Chiefs would have kept him for another year if it was like if he was like y'all think he's just holding out, like saying he wouldn't play for the Chiefs next year or what? Like,
I think he just really was like, I don't.
Best receiver in the league.
They just couldn't match him in cap.
You got to think a holdout was mentioned, but I think the Chiefs really were like kind of on the edge of thinking about moving him, and then this happened, and they're like, you know what, maybe this is best for us. I think when that Mahomes contract is starting to kick in, and I think now the Chiefs are starting to realize we can't have this many.
Another year.
Yeah, but I think they're starting to realize like we can't have this many players. His value is probably at an all-time high right now. You know, coming off a really good like
from that they could have just given up, like just traded away because he wanted out early. Like they could have still let him go, but I guess they want the assets. How many? What picks did they get?
It has to be like at least a first. I think it's like a first.
Couple first.
I forgot the exact trade, but it was a pretty good haul. I think it was more than the.
I guess for a 1-year deal.
Yeah, they give him 5 picks. They give him a first rounder, second rounder this year, and I think like some future second rounders as well.
Okay, yeah, for 1 year of Tyreek Hill, that's worth it.
I think it's kind of like I still think the Dolphins win this trade though. I think the value that they get out of Tyreek Hill is worth it.
Oh yeah, I think
the Chiefs were just put in a losing position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they got the best out of whatever they could do with it.
Yeah, Tyreek was like, I don't want to play here. Y'all can't give me enough money.
Yeah, they got this year's first, second, and then another, and then 2 fourths and a 6th.
Yeah. Okay, that's worth it for 1 single year.
And now he's the highest paid player in the NFL, making $30 million a year for a non-quarterback.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I should add that. But yeah, that's a
$35 million a year. I thought it was 30.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs replace him with Juju and Valdez-Scantling. It's weird.
Yeah, but like, just think of that team. That has a high odds of going back to the NFC Championship, though. Like, that's got to be so hard for that Chiefs owner. Like,
yeah,
just giving away. Well, I mean, he's probably still hoping they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, but you got Kelsey. But the thing is about Kelsey is people don't realize Kelsey and Gronk are the same age. They're both the same age. Kelsey's old, and people don't really see him as old, but he is old, and he's going to like regress soon.
Drinks a little bit more and parties a little more.
That is true. And he was retired for a little bit.
Yeah, he took a beating.
Gronk like just like lowers his shoulder like constantly into people and takes a lot of hits. Like he just beats himself up like Cam Newton. Little.
Yep. Awesome. Would you guys like to talk about the AFC North and Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper? We got a couple.
Yeah, that was another division. AFC West, AFC North. AFC got crazy this year.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson to the Browns. Looking like I don't know. Baker Mayfield's gonna have to find a new home this year.
Yeah, the unemployment offices. Baker Mayfield. I don't know where he will go. I don't know where he'll end up. I saw the Seahawks getting mentioned. I knew the Colts were mentioned before they got Matt Ryan, so now I don't know. There's always an option for a lot of teams. You know, some team might take him in. Just see. I don't know. There's also a good chance he plays. Here's a weird scenario that people don't really picture much, and I'm not going to talk about this too long. But there's a chance that Deshaun Watson gets suspended by the NFL still for the civil cases, because civil cases are easier to prosecute. And there's a chance he might get suspended, and Baker Mayfield might start for the Browns for the first like 4 games, which that would be really weird. Like never seen before circumstances. And it's gonna be funny because Baker's gonna go out and like this like super hard, like, oh, I'm proving myself, you know, you should have never.
You think he plays really well?
No, he's gonna go for that. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna do this, and then he's gonna drop like 3 picks a game, have like the worst, like tank his trade value. Because I don't
One thing Baker can do is like he can be clutch.
He can, but
like this is clutch like for his whole entire life. So like I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he put together 4 games, got traded to somewhere, and then ate it. But like, I feel like if he gets the chance to play, he'll probably look pretty good. But he can't.
Yeah,
he would, but it would just be so funny if he didn't. It would be so funny if he like was posting like IG posts, like cryptic captions, say like "I'm coming."
Y'all are not ready for this.
Yeah, and then he just drops
Cam Newton.
He drops like 5 pictures like the Jets defense or something like that. They bench him for Case Keenum. What were you saying, Blake? Though, what were you talking about?
Oh, I was gonna say that like Baker, like a lot of times, I feel like every single time that people start like doubting him, he starts like playing good, like randomly, but it's not like consistent. So people start being like, "Oh, Baker's like good, Baker's good, trust." But like it's only whenever Baker starts doing like really, really bad does he start playing.
Yeah,
good.
the people start realizing he's playing good and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like it's so repetitive. I don't know. You think Deshaun Watson is able to break this kind of like quarterback curse in Cleveland that they've had for years past?
I mean, he's a top 5 quarterback when. He's a top 5 quarterback when not, doing illegal things. But like I think he could still play an elite level. I don't think the curse will mean anything to a talent like that. But
when do you think the NFL will announce like a suspension if they do? Because it's
the thing is, the civil cases are early and those do take a while. I think the NFL will probably see something about it mulling later towards August. Like I bet this is like a late suspension, like a Brady type thing, like a Zeke type thing, where it's like right before the season started. But I don't think Baker will be moved by then.
Can see it, yeah. Awesome. And then Amari Cooper, I don't know. This year he's been kind of very inconsistent on the Cowboys. We didn't really get to see much of him, but he definitely has like elite level talent if he could play like that.
All the time, like even like half the games he played, he was like half the game.
Yeah, he'd like get like hurt and then try and like play through it, and so like he wouldn't see any production. But like it looked like he was playing, but he wasn't. It just hurt. It ruined his injuries.
Yeah, there would be games where I swear he'd come in maybe on 3 third downs, catch 1 or 2 balls, and that's like all he would be in the rest of the game. But Dak would just like, no, he's hurt.
Yeah, and he'd be like limping, running routes and stuff, and it just was not pretty to see from him.
And it's bad coaching by Mike McCarthy. Like that's bad for your team. You have good.
They definitely did, and the Cowboys have not done anything for free agency. How we feel about that?
Well, they did think about signing Bobby Wagner.
They did think about it.
They thought about it, but he didn't choose him.
And Von Miller wanted to come to the Cowboys, but
yeah, they did get a call from Von Miller. That is the biggest thing they've done this offseason.
They got close. Did not happen.
Lost one of their O linemen of their already falling apart offensive line. Don't forget that.
And I'm surprised Mike McCarthy is
coach.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
He shouldn't be our coach.
Considering the talent they had last year and what they did with it.
We didn't have Gallup for the playoff game, but that's about all the excuses you have. And that's
you lost to Jimmy Garoppolo.
You're ridiculous. Like
Jimmy Garoppolo beat you.
We're completely rich. Like
I don't think it wasn't even like Jimmy Garoppolo beating you. It was just like
it wasn't. But the fact that it like
20
that's
yard penalties.
Yeah, the fact that like that can be said.
Yeah, that's scary. That
Jimmy Garoppolo's 49ers beat the Cowboys, like that Cowboys team
and the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy that like that was able to happen, and like everyone like sees the talent that the Cowboys have. I mean, they have a lot of rising stars. Like, don't get me wrong, they have a lot of like really unique, cool players to watch, like CeeDee Lamb.
What he cares about, Blake. He just wants to make his money. He doesn't care if he wins or loses because that doesn't affect how much money he's making at the end.
Yeah, but it might get him fired.
He's the owner.
Oh, you're talking about Jerry Jones?
Oh,
I thought you were talking about McCarthy.
Jerry Jones. He just he doesn't really care that much at the end of the day. He's not gonna he's not gonna go negative in the cap to get big players or whatever to win.
Yeah, I think honestly he should have. I know he won't, but he needs to hire a GM. He needs to
sell that team, bro. Give it to anyone.
Dude,
I mean, he can own.
I've gotten so much better since he started letting his sons like help him draft.
Mm-hmm.
Because they listen to other people and tell him that's it. But like he still makes all the signing and trading decisions, and it's clearly not going well.
It's crazy how that's like just a thing that happens. Like there's this one dude who's like old as dirt, like brings flip phones to the games, and he's controlling this entire franchise, like probably the most expensive franchise in the world for sports.
And everyone
also
everyone kind of wait. What subject?
He's also like just mentally decaying. Like if you hear him talk
Yeah.
now, he like barely makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. And why is Zeke still on this team? I feel like contract is
so
so
good.
expensive,
I
but
don't
like
know.
he's
But
not
they
even the
need
best running back on the team.
Yeah, he's not. I
no,
mean, Tony Pollard's a top 10 running back in the league. IMO.
I mean, like
I think he's the best running back on this league, but it's or on this team, but like not by too far. But it's also Tony Pollard isn't just good at getting real hard yards. He's good at like breaking big plays, but you need both because he can't do that anymore.
yeah, but like every single time you see like Tony Pollard go in, it's always more efficient.
Well, because they run Zeke up the middle every time. No outside runs, no anything. He just like beats like he's like.
They need to cut him. They need to trade him for a 6th rounder like they did Amari Cooper.
And they don't run either of them enough. Like they don't let him get in a groove. It's like
they'll let Zeke run 3 times for like 6 yards, put Pollard and get 11, and then they'll let like Dak throw like the ball to like I don't know the ground.
Yeah, they'll have Dak for like 6 more drives after that, and then they'll be like their passing will fall apart. Run, get a first down, and then pass.
It's like Mike McCarthy for Giddy as running backs. Like he'll say, "Oh shoot," or he'll forget he has Dak or something like that.
Yeah.
Forget he has Pollard. He's an awful coach. I don't know why he's in the league. I hated that hiring when it happened.
And then it's working, and then back to the pass.
Yeah, I hated that hiring. Then I hate it more now. It should be done with.
And no player on the team has discipline. Like just no one improves over the year. Like they keep making the same mistakes. We had like 6 offsides in the playoffs against the 49ers.
Yeah, it's an interesting
holdings and false starts and this and that. Just like it doesn't seem like they practice. It seems like they're just like they roll up. They're like, "All right, guys, y'all ready?" And like, maybe.
that game got Mike McDaniels a coaching job in Miami because of how just bad he made, like how stupid he made the Cowboys coaching look.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You let like a 30-year-old economics major destroy you. Like, what are we doing? Speaking of the NFC East, we should move on to Carson Wentz dealt to the Washington Commanders.
Oh,
what do you think about that?
Red jerseys. That's dangerous.
I would be honest. Honestly, don't see anything. Honestly, could have been.
Honestly, I see Taylor Heineke with a cooler name.
Honestly, could have been traded to the XFL, and I would make a difference.
Carson Wentz is good for a couple ridiculous throws a year and a couple ridiculously embarrassed interceptions a year.
It's like hearing Mitch Trubisky to the Steelers. Like I'm not really.
That was arguably more exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was more exciting
because it's like, oh, Mitch Trubisky hasn't played in a while. You know, he led a team to But
yeah.
Carson Wentz, it's like that guy hasn't been good since 8th grade. Like that guy's been good since forever. So yeah, but another thing I want to talk about is his replacement, Matt Ryan, traded to the Colts from Atlanta, who, by the way, sold the bag, blew a lead again. They had all the pieces together for a Deshaun Watson trade. Deshaun Watson says, "I want to go to Atlanta," and the next day, the Falcons are now with Marcus Mariota at quarterback. How did this happen? Like how? I mean, that is like crazy. I don't know how Falcons fans are alive, but yeah, Matt Ryan traded the Colts. I think that will be a pretty underrated trade. I think Matt Ryan will do amazing.
Yeah, I don't.
Is like a valid quarterback.
Yeah, the Colts like quarterback situation has been a little chaotic the past couple of years. It's been very inconsistent,
like
very
1 year
random.
rentals.
Yeah, it's been like Jacoby Brissett, like Carson Wentz,
Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
I think Matt Ryan will do the best at all of them. I think Matt Ryan has like an actual really good season.
I can see it. Matt Ryan's definitely not like totally washed. I mean,
Matt Ryan with a dangerous running back like Jonathan Taylor, like the best running back in the league.
The problem is for the Colts is they're just gonna like keep going to the playoffs. Like it seems inevitably, but never get like star players because they're in Indianapolis and they're not the draft capital because they're winning games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're coming up short.
I mean, their defense is pretty solid. Their defense is pretty solid. Receiver wise, they're a little limited. Michael Pittman Jr. was pretty good this year, pretty standout. Not really much besides that on receiver talent, to be honest. I mean,
and just a lot of Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, they have to make the move. They keep putting it off. They keep doing these 1-year rentals. Like, oh, let's see how we do in the playoffs. See if we can win a couple games. Let's see what can happen. They got to make the move. They got to trade all those picks and get that quarterback. They got to stop getting these like below average quarterbacks for 1 year and then letting them walk to nowhere.
Gone for Matt Ryan like 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They should have made that move when Matt Ryan was on that team was 4-12 in 2018 or something. They shouldn't have done that now.
Right after they lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, trade for MVP Matt Ryan or trade for Deshaun Watson. I actually that can't happen because he was in the division. But trade for anyone, Russell Wilson, someone. Just
they really Colts have such a good roster, and
that is an amazing defense. That is such amazing defense, amazing O-line, and the best running back in the league, maybe Derrick Henry, and you can't win a playoff game. I mean that's sad.
They could be set up if they got a good receiver this year in the draft, and then trade up next year for who's coming out? I'm blanking.
What'd you say?
Who is the quarterback that's coming out next year that everyone's excited about?
Which one? Pickett or
this year?
Not this year. It's was it? No, it's not Caleb Williams.
Screw it, Matt Corral. I don't know.
No, that's this year. I'm talking about next year.
I know, but he's good enough.
All right, whatever. Skip on.
All right.
Malik Willis is insane.
Dude, Malik Willis is ridiculous. He just hasn't gotten to throw enough.
But yeah.
I love his talent though.
But yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, and to wrap up the free agency for this year and wrap up that division, Robert Woods traded the Titans from the Rams, coming off an ACL tear. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, and Robert Woods, Julio Jones.
Yeah, I love Robert Woods, honestly, as a player. I always love watching him. He was very good for the Rams. It's really sad when he tore his ACL because that offense would have been dangerous. I know
it would have
still
been a game. Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been ridiculous to see because he's easily a number 2 receiver on any team. But especially on that team, as a number 3, he's
with Odell and Van Jefferson.
Just he's just an everything receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could be running top. They would have 4 at least star wide receivers out there. Just
replacing him with Allen Robinson is a good move.
Yeah, definitely.
That's still a great that's still basically the same role he plays. But yeah, that'll be
a little slower, but a little bit bigger.
A little bit less playoff wins, but yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
So the player I was thinking of was Bryce Young from Bam.
Bryce Young. Yeah.
Kid's good.
He's
right.
Good.
Imagine the Colts with him. That'd be
that'd be interesting. But I'd rather them trade for a veteran because their defense is aging.
Yeah, but I can't see them getting. I can't see them getting Bryce Young. They're not going to be that bad.
They're not going to be that bad, and they're not going to make the move to trade up because we know now this team is.
If they would trade up, I'm saying. But
we know this team is veteran minded.
Oh, yes.
It's about finding the right one, and there is no right one because no one wants to go to Indianapolis, and they never involve themselves in the guys that do.
Dude, this was their year.
Yeah, this is it. This is the off season. They had to make a move. Maybe next season they'll have another chance. It'll be weird. We'll see.
If next year is somehow this crazy, maybe. But
yeah.
If it's a normal, they're screwed for a while.
But that just about wraps up our free agency recap for 2022. There still is a lot to unfold. Still a lot of guys that are free agents, namely Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent.
And Tyrann Mathieu, right?
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu. I don't know why he hasn't got picked up yet, but but yeah, a lot of guys that are free agents. So we'll definitely cover those in later episodes as those events continue to unfold. But yeah, thank you guys for listening and watching to the 3 and Out podcast. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
You guys in the next one.
Check out.
Goodbye.
Love you guys.